Hi class, welcome back to our previous video. In this video, we'll be continuing with the HTML colors. You have seen that the HTML colors do a lot of things within our HTML code. We can add a color to the text and then a background color to it. Okay, so we started dealing with the hexadecimal notation. Okay, so now we already understand that we can use color scheme or HTML color scheme, which is aspect of which is, let me say, a property of CSS aspect. But then the difference between it, in CSS we have to create a CSS seed, as how to call it, file, or we have to put the CSS within the HTML code, or maybe we apply what we call an inline. And the exact HTML color styling that we are applying here is called an inline CSS style. Okay, but now we will continue with it just as we understand it, or you already understand it, that this is an introductory to CSS. So you can see the first text here, I already have it. Like here there's a color, and then you can see there is no name of color, but you can see blue there because I use this hexadecimal. There is background color here, and there is no name of color here, and then I use this hexadecimal notation. So I will come to the second one, which is let's try to add color to this one. So I will just say style. Okay, so what you need to understand in this CSS styling system, it will affect only within the elements that you apply it to, right? So if I applied how to call it, a CSS style here, despite all these paragraph tag, they will not be affected. It is only within the part that it is applied that is where it will be affected, meaning only the elements that it is embedded within, meaning within the opening and the closing tag of that particular element. Okay, so we will type here style. Okay, so I will type style here and then type color. Okay, so once I type color, I will not be writing any color name like saying green, blue, aqua, or whatsoever. So what I will do, I will just use hexadecimal notation by pressing the hash and then press a hexadecimal notation. Let's say 99. Okay, and then ff. So let's see what color it gives us. You can see it gives us a cool color, right? So now in this color here, you can see this is the color that it gives us here. Okay, so now what I can do, I will just save, go to the this thing, refresh, and you can see how the color of this text look, right? So I will come here again and then add a background color to it. Maybe I want another background color. I always told you that you cannot put it behind. Okay, if you come behind here, behind the code, and you want to write let's say background color, okay, it will not work. You see, your text will be in red, so meaning you have to put it behind the code. Okay, and then say background color. Okay, the reason why I'm creating space is for you to understand that everything that you are styling have to be within the code here, that after style equals to equals codes and then codes. So everything that we are embedding have to be between these two code. Okay, so now the background color, I will say has. Okay, and then input another this thing, hexadecimal notation. Okay, and then 797. Okay, and then add there, let's say f 0. Okay, and then add the f. Okay, and add what, 9. So sorry, so, let's say has 7 9 ff. Okay, so you can see we add a new hexadecimal notation here. Now you can see the background color here is aqua. So once I save, okay, you can see I am adding background colors using hexadecimal notation. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to add some RGB. We can also the first part here is using the names of the colors and the names of the colors itself. The second part here is using the hexadecimal notation, and in this other aspect here, these three here, or let me just say one of them, what we will be doing, we will be adding RGB color, right? So I will say style again. Okay, and then say color. Okay, once I say color, maybe I will write here RGB. So once you type RGB, it will come. So now if you look into the RGB here, look what it gives you. It already gives you colors. It says red, green, blue. But sometimes we can use the RGB by using numbers. But now let's just use it like the way it is here. Save and then see what it will happen. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, refresh our text here. You see that is this Ghanaian. Okay, nothing happened, right? Because they are all of the same this thing. So now what I will do, I will just change the other one here, maybe make this use number format and say 255 characters. Okay, use this other one and change it to 0, and change this one also maybe to 0 and save, and let's see now what will happen. Okay, refresh. You see this is blue now. Okay, so you see the Ghanaian, there is at least an effect now, so it changed it exactly to blue. Okay, or what we can do, I will change the first one 255. Okay, so you see once I say 255 0255, it gives us this type of color. So we can be using these numbers to add some colors. Okay, so I can also say 344. Okay, sorry, it have to be the color scheme have to be from 0 to 255 how to call it, characters. It cannot be more than that, so I will have to say 123. Okay, you see the color it gives me, and then in the end I'll put here 0. Okay, so now once I put 0, you see I have a color. So now let me add background color here. Okay, I want to add background color, and now I will say RGB again, and then press where red is. So what I will do on the red, what I will do, I will say 255. Okay, where green is 0, and then where blue is, I will add there 255 again. So these number schemes that I am adding here, these are numbers that will determine the type of color that will be visible. Okay, so the reason this number scheme, they represent those colors that you see here, so you can see. But like I said, these number schemes, like these RGB number schemes, the numbers have to be from 0 to 255 characters. It cannot be more than that. Once it is more than that, it will not be visible. So I will save. Okay, refresh, and then you can see I have a background color here, right? So this is how it works with the RGB aspect. So the Nigerian also, we can add their background color. This time let me add style first and add a background color. I don't want any color, so I will just add background color and use RGB. Okay, type RGB. So once you type RGB, it will give you these three colors. So let's say now under the RGB, let's put 0. Okay, and put 0 and put another 0 and see what color it will give us. Okay, it gives us, okay, you see it gives us black. Okay, meaning it gives us black color. So let's say we put here 128 here and see what color it gives us. 18, sorry, 128. Okay, you see the color it gives us, and I will put here 130. Okay, and then I will add to the last one 255 and see now the color. So you can see the color that you are seeing here, right? So once I refresh the browser, you can see there is a color behind it. You see, so the RGB aspect is very, very beautiful, very cool, and very nice. So this is how we apply the HTML as color scheme, the color how to call it, color effects within our website using some CSS properties. So all this styling that we did here in CSS, we call it an inline CSS. So now we will now be moving to the CSS aspect, understanding CSS part. Now I will just go back to the presentation. So in here, what you need to understand here is that we are now going to talk about HTML CSS. Now the HTML have three types of CSS. We have what we call the inline CSS. We also have what we call the internal CSS, and we also have what we call the external CSS. So I'll just go back here, maybe use the pen tool so that you understand what I am using. Okay, so in this aspect here, I will the three, I'll put it down here. We have what we call inline, okay, CSS, okay, and we have inline CSS,